gone out, done some food shopping, got your protein, your carbohydrates, good fats, and you should have already come back, stocked the fridge, stocked your cupboards, and you're ready to go with clean whole food ingredients. Now we've got our macronutrients, remember, so we've got protein, carbohydrates, and fats. And what we need to learn about a little bit here is the importance of the protein and carbohydrate ratio. So the protein and carbohydrate ratio is, for example, if I was to go and have a serving of protein and I was going to go and have 10 bananas in this smoothie right now, what would happen is that in terms of a protein to carbohydrate ratio, we've got one serving of protein and we've got a massive amount of carbohydrates. And although bananas are very, very good, there's just a lot of carbohydrates in them. So, which is fine, you've just got to be wary of how much to actually have of the high density carbohydrates, such as bananas. So if we were to just have one serving of protein and 10 bananas in here, for example, what would happen is we would feel fatigued after the smoothie in 99% of cases because it's too much carbohydrates. We get a spike of insulin, a lower blood sugar, and we feel fatigued. And what happens when we get a lower blood sugar is that our brain feeds off glucose. So if we've got a low blood sugar, there's nothing for our brain to feed off anymore. And this is when a craving sets in. Have you ever had a big meal, like a big bowl of pasta or something like that, and then you've been full, even for 30 minutes after your meal, but then you've still wanted to eat some more food? I'm sure a lot of you have experienced something like that. A similar thing would happen even if you've made this smoothie. So even if you go and think you're making a beautiful, nice, clean, whole food, healthy, nutrient-dense smoothie, it can actually be detrimental to what you're actually trying to achieve because you've gone and had this unbalance there. Now on the other side of the spectrum, if we were to have one serving of protein and just say we were to have like just a tiny amount of banana in there, what would happen there is we don't have enough carbohydrates. So the balance of there isn't enough. Now, in between that small amount of carbohydrate and the 10 bananas, somewhere in between, we're going to feel at our best. So it's more about becoming aware of how you feel after the meal that you've eaten, and not just eating it and thinking, oh, I'm tired after it, that's just the way it is. That's not how it is. Your meal should give you energy, not take it away. Remember that. Become aware of how you feel after the meal and you can start to fine tune things very good. So in between those, the both ends of the spectrum, very small amount of carbohydrate, too much, we want to find that happy medium, that sweet spot right in the center. And the recipes that I'll give you will keep you in a pretty good range. And what that does is it balances out your blood sugar level. So we got protein, we got carbohydrates. If they're in the correct balance and we end up feeling great after the meal, then you've nailed it. You should be feeling light, you should be feeling satisfied, and you should be feeling really, really good after every single meal that you have. And it should actually eliminate cravings for anywhere from 2 to 4 hours after your meal. You shouldn't be looking for any other food if you've had the correct meal in the right amounts. Now, instead of just eating at random and getting random results, we're actually eating in a better way, a more systemized way, and we're eating to optimize the hormonal effect from the meals that we eat. All right? If you've ever heard of the word insulin, okay, insulin is a hormone, we need it. We just don't need big spikes of insulin and lower blood sugar, there's no point. But if we have the optimum amount of protein and carbohydrate ratio, we'll get a balanced amount of insulin release and we'll get a balanced blood sugar. Now what happens if we get a balanced blood sugar level, the right amount of insulin, is that we allow our body to fall into a state where we can access our stored body fat as a source of fuel, and that's what we need to be doing. There's actually twice the amount of energy in a gram of fat as there is in a gram of carbohydrate. It makes sense to use fat as a form of energy. So eating in this way, optimizing that protein to carbohydrate ratio, a very healthy side effect of that is stripping some body fat. Great, doesn't everyone want that? Beautiful. The things you've just learned from the beginning up until this point are going to be critical to your success and critical to how awesome you're going to be feeling from these meals that you're going to be eating. And we'll start with these foundations now with smoothies, because it's such an easy place to start for you. And then as we progress on, we're even going to get into how to construct meals. We're going to construct proper meals in a balanced way for you to get the most optimal effect, the most optimal hormonal effect from the meals that you eat. So what we're going to do now, we'll move over to the next video, and I'll go through some other smoothies that you can make up. You should have already downloaded the Smoothie Foundations file, and that will be there. It'll say like you've got to put protein, carbohydrates, your fats, and then if you still want to enhance it even more, you can put other things like 5 greens in your smoothie. If you want to put other vitamins and stuff like that if you want in there. But download that document, and we'll see you on the next video.